This week we really start with Yetzias Mitzrayim. Ve'era, when I was younger, they taught me a trick to remember which makos are in which parsha. Because Ve'era starts with a vav and an aleph. In numerical value, vav is 6, aleph is 1, that's 7. So you have 7 makos in this week's parsha, 7 plagues. And in next week's parsha you have bo. Beis, aleph, together is 3. Now, whenever we think of Yetzias Mitzrayim, one question always strikes me very strongly. What in the world was Paro thinking? By the time you get to the end, you're kind of like, well, we've seen this show before, right? Moshe comes to Paro, and he says, Paro, by the way, so-and-so is going to happen. Oh, really? Yeah, you still can't take the Jews out. Oh, okay. And then he leaves. Boom! He gets smacked. Some cataclysmic occurrence happens. The economy is totally crushed. And Moshe Rabbeinu comes out on top. Paro says, oh my gosh, this is crazy. The plague stops, and then we do it all again. Right? The question is like, again, what in the world is Paro thinking? At a certain point, you just got to say, enough. Right? And what's amazing is that to us, it's like so obvious. We see it in the Torah, and we're just thinking, it's right there in your face. And it really starts even before the plagues, right? With Aaron, he brings the staff and he throws it down and it turns into a snake. The Egyptian magicians do the same thing. And then they turn back into sticks, and then his stick eats their sticks. Pretty amazing, right in front of his face. And the Torah specifically says, and Paro didn't even listen to this. Right in front of his face, an amazing miracle. To answer this question would take a lot longer than what I've been given. But I do want to discuss one major assumption in the question. Is that we always act based on whatever we see and is apparent in front of us. When we ask that question on Paro, we're basically saying, is like, well, duh, it's right in front of you. You're beaten. Or, it's clear what the way I should be doing. This is exactly what I need to do. Right? And of course I would do that. Is that always true? I mean, I can say, I'm sure anybody who's lived in New York and having to drive around, especially they talk about Washington Heights, people would drive around for 45 minutes to find a parking spot. Now, I can tell you from my own experience, driving around in Chicago and Evanston, and you're looking for a parking spot. I got a dentist appointment right now. Oh gosh, there's no parking spot anywhere around it. Gone around 3 times. Hashem, please help me find the parking. Oh, thanks, never mind. Right? You got it right there. What just happened? You literally gave out a tefillah. You davened. Hashem gave it to you right in my lap. And then what? And sometimes you even have better. You say, Hashem, if you just help me with this one thing, I will do X, Y, Z. And guess what? It happens. Amazing. And you say, oh, never mind. No problem. Didn't you just ask that question on Paro? What happened? And we have to realize is that it's an amazing thing. People, as my Rabbi likes to say very often, people have an amazing ability to be absolute contradictions. Even though we know 100% up here something is correct, as they say, between here and here is the longest distance. And we can use all of these parshios of the Makos, where it's so amazing, it's so unbelievable and so obvious, and yet we have a person who is the head of the biggest country and most powerful country in the world saying, no thank you. We too, we have to take that lesson to heart and say, wow, that can actually happen. We have to be able to take all those messages that are being thrown at us all the time, from HaKadosh Baruch Hu and from all over the place, for us to be able to improve, for us to be able to say, do you know what, maybe I should rethink this. Maybe I shouldn't have done what I did. And we can take those messages and really improve ourselves and lift ourselves up to bring us to the next level where we'll have our own Yetzias Mitzrayim.